Welcome to the Explainer. Today, we're actually talking about time travel. Well, okay, linguistic time travel to be precise. If you've been learning Spanish, you might feel, a little stuck in the present tense. It's great to know how to describe exactly what's happening right this second. You can say what you're eating right now or what you're doing right now. But what about dinner tonight? Or what about your vacation next month? What if I told you there's an ultimate linguistic cheat code, a surprisingly simple formula that literally unlocks your ability to speak about the future instantly? Okay, let's dive right into this.
It's an incredibly common frustration for focused learners. And hey, it's completely understandable. You know how to say what you're doing right now. But how do you effectively talk about tomorrow in Spanish? Trying to memorize entirely new verb endings just for the future tense, that can feel incredibly overwhelming at first. It feels like this giant mountain of memorization. But today, I'm going to give you a highly actionable hack. I promise you a simple, elegant way to instantly talk about your future plans without stressing over complex conjugations.
Section 1. Unlocking the future. The basic building block. We're going to frame this grammar concept not as a rigid, confusing rule, but as a highly accessible formula. Think of it like assembling building blocks. We're going to use words you mostly already know to instantly unlock time travel in Spanish. To ground our entire explainer, let's look at our core concept, ir a. I'll say that one more time, ir a. In English, this translates to go to or to be going to. So the absolutely crucial point here is that these two little words are the engine driving our future intentions. Just like in English, when you say, I am going to study, Spanish utilizes the exact same logical structure. Section 2. Conjugating the verb ir, the engine of our formula. Let's transition into the actual mechanics of this formula. Because before we can speed off into tomorrow, we first need to adapt our core verb, ir, based on exactly who is doing the speaking.
Now, what's really interesting about this is how beautifully everything aligns. Let's run through these pairings together. Notice how each subject perfectly locks into its conjugated verb form. We have yo, which pairs with voy a, I am going to. Next is do, which pairs with vas a, you are going to. Then él or ella takes va a, he or she is going to. Moving down, nosotros pairs with vamos a, we are going to. And finally, ustedes or ellos pairs with van a. You all or they are going to. You just select your subject, grab the matching engine, and you're good to go.
Section 3. The ir-a formula. Stacking the blocks. Now that we've got our engine running and we know exactly how to conjugate ir, it's time to build a complete sentence by stacking our building blocks.
Let's walk through exactly how to build this. Step 1 is bringing in what we literally just mastered, subject plus ira. For example, yo voy a. Now for step 2. To complete the circuit, you simply plug in either an infinitive verb, which is just an action word in its original unchanged form like dormir, to sleep, or you can plug in a noun, like a destination. Think la escuela, the school. And that's it. That is the entire formula. And this brilliantly illustrates the formula in action. In our first example, we have yo voy a dormir. I am going to sleep. See? We used an action verb. Alternatively, look at the second example, yo voy a la escuela. I am going to school. We used a noun destination. See how seamlessly that works? You just constructed complete future tense thoughts, and all you did was stack 3 blocks together in a row. It's like magic. To truly understand the sheer power of this one formula, take a look at this barrage of vocabulary. Patinar, bailar, dibujar, enseñar, trabajar, nadar, montar, estudiar, amar, llorar. Because the formula uses the infinitive form, you don't have to change these verbs at all. You can instantly talk about skating, dancing, teaching, or working just by placing voy right in front of them. It's incredibly efficient learning, and it exponentially grows what you can express. Section 4. The power of no, using the negative. Let's pivot the narrative here. I mean, it's great to talk about what we will do, but what about what we absolutely refuse to do? Let's look at how easily we can modify this cheat code to declare what we are not going to do. Let's compare these two statements. We have a positive declaration. Sí, yo voy a estudiar español hoy. Yes, I am going to study Spanish today. Now, notice the exact placement of the word no in our second example. To make it negative, you just drop the no directly in front of the engine. No, no voy a estudiar español hoy. No, I am not going to study Spanish today. Though, of course, I know you don't actually mean that negative sentence because you're currently watching this explainer and studying your Spanish right now. And just like before, the versatility is amazing. You can drop any of these new verbs into that negative structure. Comer, to eat. Beber, to drink. Correr, to run. Leer, to read. Comprender, entender. Ver, escribir. Vivir, ir de compras, to go shopping. If you want a lazy weekend, you can easily say, no voy a correr, I am not going to run. Or, no voy a ir de compras, I am not going to go shopping. This is the beauty of stacking blocks. Your engine stays the exact same, and you just swap out the infinitive verb at the very end. You are in complete control of your future plans.
Section 5. Asking key questions. The interrogation room. Let's shift gears from making statements to asking questions. This is going to empower you to find out about other people's future plans. Let's see how this builds.
Creating a question is remarkably straightforward. Take the question, ¿Vas tú a estudiar español hoy? Are you going to study Spanish today? We just flip the subject and the conjugated verb around. And you can see how simply changing the subject to él, he, and using the matching va conjugation allows you to interrogate someone else entirely. ¿Va él a estudiar español hoy? Is he going to study Spanish today?
But to get specific details, we need this crucial matrix of question words. I want you to listen closely and try to guess the meaning right before I say the English translation. Ready? ¿Dónde? Where? ¿Cuándo? When? ¿Cómo? How? ¿Por qué? Why? ¿Quién? Who? ¿Cuál? Which? ¿Qué? What? ¿Cuántos? How many? Dropping any of these powerful question words at the very front of our id-a formula instantly unlocks your ability to ask for highly specific, targeted details.
Let's read through a practical example to see how perfectly this flows. ¿Dónde vas a estudiar? Where are you going to study? The question word, ¿dónde, directly prompts an answer using a noun destination to complete the circuit. So you reply, Yo voy a estudiar en mi casa. I am going to study in my house.
Or we can change our question word entirely. ¿Cuándo vas a estudiar? When are you going to study? Using a when question perfectly sets up the opportunity to drop in future time markers. Yo voy a estudiar mañana. I am going to study tomorrow.
And that brings us to the real test. ¿Qué vas a hacer mañana? What are you going to do tomorrow? I want to challenge you right now. Instantly apply this cheat code in your head. Formulate your answer. You know, you now possess the basic building blocks to travel through time and speak Spanish in the future tense. The only thing left to ask yourself is, what are you going to do next?